Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that Cardi B just dropped the most jaw-dropping confession that has the entire internet absolutely losing their minds, I mean, it literally broke social media. We're talking about revelations so shocking that fans are questioning everything they thought they knew about their favorite rapper. And trust me, what you're about to hear will leave you completely speechless. Now, before we dive into this absolute bombshell, let me paint you a picture of just how massive this story has become. Within hours of Cardi's confession going live, the hashtags were trending worldwide. Millions of people were sharing their reactions, and even other celebrities were chiming in with their thoughts. This isn't just another celebrity story that fades away in 24 hours. This is the kind of confession that changes everything. But here's what makes this even more incredible. Cardi B didn't just slip up in an interview or get caught off guard by a reporter. She voluntarily went on Instagram Live and decided to tell the world something that most people would take to their grave. The level of raw honesty and complete transparency she showed has everyone asking the same question. Why would she reveal something this personal and potentially damaging to her career? And to those of you who think you've heard all the celebrity confessions before, let me stop you right there. This goes beyond anything we've seen from any major artist in recent memory. We're not talking about admitting to plastic surgery or revealing a secret relationship. We're talking about confessions that touch on personal hygiene, financial situations, relationship drama, and past actions that could completely reshape how the public views one of hip-hop's biggest stars. The first confession that sent shockwaves through social media happened during what seemed like a casual Instagram Live session. Cardi B appeared on camera wearing just a wig cap, looking completely relaxed and unbothered, when she decided to share something that left millions of viewers absolutely stunned. She looked directly into the camera and admitted that she hadn't washed her hair in months. But wait, it gets even more shocking than that. When Cardi first said 2 months, she immediately corrected herself, laughing as she realized it was actually closer to 3 months. The way she delivered this confession was so casual and matter-of-fact that viewers weren't sure if they should laugh or be completely horrified. She gestured to her head and joked about having all types of eggs from insects living in her hair, painting a picture that had people literally gagging in the comments section. The reaction was instant and intense. Social media exploded with responses ranging from complete disgust to people defending her honesty. Some users were posting vomiting emojis and talking about how they could imagine the smell. Others were praising her for being real about something that many people probably don't want to admit about their own hygiene habits during difficult periods in their lives. What makes this confession even more significant is the timing. This wasn't just a random moment of oversharing. This came during a period when Cardi was dealing with major life changes, including her recent pregnancy and ongoing divorce proceedings with Offset. The fact that she chose this moment to be so brutally honest about her personal care routine suggests there's something deeper going on beneath the surface. But the hygiene confession was just the beginning of what would become a series of shocking revelations that had fans questioning everything they thought they knew about the rapper. The second major bombshell came when fans started questioning her financial situation after she promoted a collaboration with a fast fashion brand. Instead of ignoring the criticism or giving a diplomatic response, Cardi decided to get completely transparent about her wealth in a way that left everyone's jaws on the floor. The controversy started when she posted a promotional video for Shane winter coats on Instagram. Fans immediately jumped into the comments expressing confusion about why someone who regularly wears Hermes and Chanel would be promoting affordable fast fashion. The comments section became a battlefield with people debating whether this meant she was struggling financially or if she was just trying to make money from any available opportunity. Rather than letting the speculation continue, Cardi decided to address it head-on in the most dramatic way possible. She went live and revealed that she spends approximately $3 million every single month. Let that sink in for a moment. $3 million every month. That's more money than most people will see in their entire lifetime, and she's spending it monthly like it's nothing. But she didn't stop there. To prove her point even further, she declared that she could buy a $300,000 watch the very next day without thinking twice about it. The way she delivered this information was so confident and unapologetic that it left viewers completely speechless. She made it crystal clear that she owns all of her properties outright and has zero debt, essentially shutting down any speculation about financial struggles. The response to this financial confession was mixed. Some fans praised her for being transparent about her success and not pretending to be more relatable than she actually is. Others felt like she was being tone-deaf considering the economic struggles many of her fans face daily. But regardless of how people felt about the revelation, nobody could deny that it was shocking to hear someone speak so casually about spending millions of dollars monthly. These confessions were already enough to keep social media buzzing for weeks, but Cardi wasn't finished. The most explosive revelation was yet to come, and it involved her personal relationships in a way that nobody saw coming. The drama unfolded in real time on social media when Offset publicly accused her of cheating while she was pregnant with their third child. Instead of denying the accusations or trying to keep their private business private, Cardi made a decision that stunned everyone. She confirmed that she had indeed started talking to other men in June while she was carrying their baby. The admission was delivered with such straightforward honesty that viewers weren't sure how to process what they were hearing. But the story gets even more complicated. Cardi revealed that the public argument between her and the Offset started when she blocked him over the weekend. According to her version of events, he became angry about her trip to Paris for Fashion Week and began blowing up her direct messages with threats about how he planned to get back at her. When she wouldn't respond, he reportedly started contacting her family and friends, trying to reach her through private numbers. The level of detail she provided about their private communications was unprecedented. She even shared actual text messages that made it clear she no longer wanted to be with the father of her children. The raw emotion and brutal honesty in these revelations showed a side of celebrity relationships that the public rarely gets to see. What made this relationship confession so particularly shocking wasn't just the admission of infidelity, but the timing of when everything unfolded. Here was one of the biggest names in hip-hop laying bare the most intimate details of her marriage. Breakdown, while millions of people watched in real time. The vulnerability she showed was unlike anything we've seen from a celebrity of her caliber. The confession revealed a pattern that had been building for years. Cardi and Offset's relationship had been plagued by cheating rumors and public disputes throughout their entire 6-year marriage. But this time felt different. This wasn't another rumor or speculation from gossip blogs. This was Cardi herself confirming what many had suspected while adding layers of complexity that nobody anticipated. She explained how their relationship had reached a breaking point where communication had completely broken down. The fact that she was willing to share text messages and private conversations showed just how far beyond caring about public perception she had moved. When someone reaches that level of transparency, it usually means they've already mentally checked out of trying to protect the relationship. But the relationship drama was just one piece of a much larger puzzle that was about to get even more controversial. As fans were still processing the cheating confession, old stories began resurfacing that reminded everyone of an even more shocking admission from Cardi's past. This wasn't something new, but the timing of when people started talking about it again made it feel fresh and relevant. Years ago, during another Instagram live session, Cardi had made an admission that was so controversial it spawned its own hashtag movement. She had openly discussed her past as a stripper and revealed that during those days she had drugged and robbed men to make money. The casual way she delivered this information at the time had shocked people, but somehow it got overshadowed by other news cycles. Now, with all these new confessions coming out, people started connecting the dots and asking bigger questions about accountability and consequences. The resurfaced confession sparked intense debates about double standards in how society treats male versus female celebrities who admit to criminal behavior. Social media exploded with discussions about whether the reaction would be different if a male rapper had made the same admission. The controversy highlighted something uncomfortable that many people didn't want to acknowledge. There seemed to be a different set of rules applied when it came to holding certain celebrities accountable for their past actions. While some defended her by saying she was surviving in difficult circumstances, others pointed out that drugging and robbing people is serious criminal behavior regardless of the motivation behind it. What made this resurfaced confession particularly relevant was how it connected to her current pattern of brutal honesty. Here was someone who had always been willing to share the darkest parts of her past, and now she was continuing that tradition with equally shocking present-day revelations. The consistency in her willingness to expose herself was both admirable and concerning to different groups of people. The conversation around these confessions took another dramatic turn when Cardi's political involvement became part of the story. During election night, she posted and then quickly deleted a video that caused massive controversy across social media platforms. The timing couldn't have been worse, coming right when political tensions were already at their peak. In the deleted video, she made comments about natural disasters affecting certain states that immediately sparked outrage from people across the political spectrum. The fact that she deleted it so quickly suggested she realized how inflammatory the statement was, but screenshots and recordings had already spread everywhere. The damage was done before she could take it back. This political controversy brought her into direct conflict with high-profile figures, including Elon Musk, who criticized her campaign involvement and called her a puppet when a teleprompter malfunction forced her to read from her phone during a campaign event. Her response was swift and fierce, defending her immigrant parents and working-class background while making it clear she wouldn't be intimidated by billionaires. The back and forth between them became another viral moment that added to the growing list of controversial statements and confessions. Each new incident seemed to build on the previous ones, creating a snowball effect of publicity that kept Cardi's name trending for all different kinds of reasons. But perhaps the most telling confession came when she addressed her plans for the future. During a recent Instagram Live session, she revealed her mindset going into the new year, and it was unlike anything fans had heard from her before. The level of anger and frustration in her voice suggested someone who had reached their absolute breaking point with multiple situations in her life. She announced that she was hitting a complete reset button and warned that she wouldn't be tolerating anything from anyone in the coming year. The way she delivered this message was so intense and filled with profanity that it felt less like a casual update and more like a declaration of war against everyone who had wronged her. What made this future-focused confession particularly interesting was how she connected it to everything that had gone wrong in her current year. She talked about having all her music plans perfectly organized, including music videos and even scheduling surgery, only to have unexpected pregnancy derail everything she had worked toward. The raw frustration in her voice when she talked about these disrupted plans revealed someone who was struggling to maintain control over her own narrative and career trajectory. Here was one of the most successful female rappers in the world, admitting that she felt like forces beyond her control kept sabotaging her attempts to move forward professionally. These confessions paint a picture of someone who has reached a point where traditional celebrity media management no longer matters to them. The calculated public relations approach that most stars use has been completely abandoned in favor of radical honesty that shocks even her most dedicated fans. What we're witnessing here is something unprecedented in celebrity culture. When someone reaches this level of complete transparency, it usually signals a fundamental shift in how they view their relationship with fame and public perception. Cardi has essentially thrown the traditional celebrity playbook out the window and decided that authentic expression matters more than carefully managed image control. The timing of all these confessions creates a fascinating psychological profile of someone who has reached their breaking point with pretense. Think about it from her perspective. She spent years dealing with constant scrutiny, relationship drama, career pressures, and public expectations that would crush most people. At some point, the mental energy required to maintain a polished public persona becomes more exhausting than just telling the truth. But here's where things get really complex. These aren't just random oversharing moments happening in isolation. Each confession builds on the previous ones, creating a pattern that suggests something much deeper is happening beneath the surface. When someone starts revealing intimate details about their hygiene habits, then moves to financial transparency, then relationship confessions, and finally threats about future behavior, it paints a picture of someone who has systematically decided to strip away every layer of privacy and protection. The psychological impact on her fan base has been equally fascinating to observe. Social media reactions show people struggling to process this level of raw honesty from someone they've followed for years. Some fans are expressing concern about her mental health and well-being. Others are praising her authenticity and saying they appreciate finally seeing the real person behind the celebrity persona. But there's also a significant group that seems uncomfortable with this much transparency. This discomfort reveals something interesting about our relationship with celebrity culture. We claim to want authenticity from public figures, but when someone actually delivers complete honesty about messy personal situations, many people don't know how to handle it. There's an unspoken expectation that celebrities should be relatable enough to seem human, but not so transparent that we see all the ugly details of their actual lives. The financial confession specifically hit different because it forced fans to confront the massive wealth gap between themselves and the artists they support. When Cardi casually mentioned spending $3 million monthly, it created a cognitive dissonance for people who struggle to pay basic bills while still buying her music and merchandise. The reaction showed how uncomfortable many fans become when forced to acknowledge the extreme wealth inequality that exists in the entertainment industry. But the relationship revelations cut even deeper because they challenged fundamental assumptions about loyalty, commitment, and family values. Here was someone admitting to infidelity while pregnant, sharing private text messages, and exposing the messiest details of a marriage breakdown. The level of detail she provided made it impossible for people to maintain any illusions about the reality of celebrity relationships. What makes these confessions particularly powerful is how they connect to broader cultural conversations happening right now. The discussions about hygiene standards, wealth inequality, relationship expectations, and accountability for past actions are all topics that society is grappling with on multiple levels. Cardi's brutal honesty has essentially turned her personal life into a mirror that reflects larger societal issues. The political controversies add another layer of complexity, because they show someone who refuses to stay in their lane, even when it would be professionally safer to remain silent. The willingness to engage in heated political debates and make inflammatory statements during sensitive times demonstrates a complete disregard for traditional celebrity damage control strategies. Her confrontation with high-profile figures like Elon Musk revealed someone who has moved beyond caring about maintaining relationships with powerful people in different industries. When you're willing to publicly argue with one of the world's richest men over political disagreements, it suggests you've reached a point where protecting your brand matters less than expressing your authentic opinions. The promise of future confrontations and her declaration about hitting a reset button creates anticipation for what comes next. This isn't someone who seems likely to quietly fade into the background, or suddenly become more diplomatic in their public statements. If anything, The trajectory suggests even more explosive revelations and confrontations are probably coming. What we're witnessing might be the evolution of celebrity culture in real time. Traditional media training and public relations strategies were developed for a different era when celebrities could control their narrative through carefully managed interviews and press releases. Social media has changed everything by giving public figures direct access to their audience without any filters or gatekeepers. So, there you have it, folks. From shocking hygiene admissions to mind-blowing financial revelations, from explosive relationship drama to controversial political statements, Cardi B has completely shattered every rule in the celebrity handbook. Whether you think she's being refreshingly authentic or dangerously reckless, one thing is absolutely certain. This level of raw transparency has changed the game forever. And based on everything we've seen, this is just the beginning of what promises to be the most unfiltered era of her entire career.